Hello everybody, it is I, Cool, back again, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Sodor Adventure 6-pack. This was released rather recently. This is a metal collection 6-pack. This is the new Thomas Diecast line, which I was waiting for the day it would show up in my stores. I've wanted some pieces of the new Thomas merch, and this is it. Finally, just good Thomas merch. As you know, Thomas has mostly been focused on the All Engines Go spin-off show that was released around 2021 and has recently ended. So this is the first new Thomas merch in a while to be based on the regular CGI series. This pack includes Henry the Green Engine, James the Red Engine, Annie and Clarabel, Percy the Small Engine, and of course Thomas with an exclusive diecast design. This pack features artwork of Thomas, Percy, James, and Henry, but I believe no Annie and Clarabel, just different variations of the character combos. Yeah, no Annie and Clarabel, they're just considered rolling stock, but that's fine. On the back, it shows the stock images, as well as this being an exclusive Thomas. A little bummed that this is my only Thomas, but hopefully I can get another version of Thomas at some point. This is the metal collection, but is very similar to the push-along Thomas line from 2018 to 19. 2025 Mattel. There is the barcode, not featuring the Thomas chugging along it. Alright, all that said, let's get these guys out of the box and take a look at them in full. Alright, first one to review is, of course, Thomas. Now, this Thomas is a unique variant since he has his driver on the side painting his lining. I believe a reference to The Adventure Begins. The other side is completely normal, though. Not sure how I feel about this exclusive Thomas. It doesn't really feel like the best idea for a celebration Thomas, but also I'm happy to have this Thomas at all. It's really cool seeing a new Thomas. The previous Thomas before the push-along line was the Adventures Thomas, and it is just night and day how they look. This toy is so well detailed and just it just looks good, and it's really hefty. I really like the large scale of this one. It's probably the biggest diecast Thomas we've had for just the regular line of diecast. Here's the original Erdl Thomas, and yeah, he towers over him. Hold on, let me get Diesel, because Diesel is a really large Erdl, so yeah, you can see how he towers over Thomas. Let's see how they scale with each other. And okay, actually, that looks pretty cool, actually. I like this. I like this quite a bit. So yeah, that's pretty nice. This Thomas, of course, is an exclusive variant, so if you want this Thomas, you're going to have to buy the whole pack, which I would recommend solely just because so far the actual singles and 2-packs of these engines haven't been hitting the stores as frequently, so they're very desirable. You're going to want those. One thing that this Thomas does that is really interesting is the wheels here. Hold on, is that a flake? Yeah, okay, that was just a flake. That would have been so mad if that was an error. Not just kidding, but so yeah, he has these new side rods, very akin to the Erdl Thomas. They stick a lot out from the side here. One even compared them to the guns Mater has in Cars 2, but I personally don't mind these that much. Over here is the other side, which of course is just what normal Thomas looks like. So if I really wanted to, I could just have Thomas just constantly displayed like this. Stage facing stage left, or no, it would be stage right? Yeah. Again, I really like how the proportions on this model are and just how detailed it is. This is a really fascinating looking Thomas. Here's the back lamp. The back buffers aren't painted, but that's fine. Just overall a really impressive toy. There's been complaints about Mattel sort of going back to the older push-along style, and I think that's only just to make up for the fact that a lot of those didn't sell well, so they're just kind of reissuing old stock and probably are going to plan an update. It's something Mattel does. In the Cars Diecast line, they'll release unupdated versions of characters quite a bit. You'll see that a lot with Ramon, right? Because he got an updated mold. Hold on, let me check if his hook, because a lot of the Trackmaster items. Yeah, the main gimmick of Push Along is that they're able to fit on Trackmaster track, which I will briefly demonstrate after I've reviewed all the engines, because I think that's the right way to go about it. Let me just show off the wheels of the old ones. So remember, if you see a Push Along and the wheels look like this, that is the original, but if the wheels look like this, that is the new 2025 production version. So, yeah, that's all I have to say about Thomas for now. Really like this one. I'm giving this one, personally, a 4 out of 10. I really do wish this pack came with a regular Thomas, because regular Thomas is so hard to find. As a kid, I hated not being able to find regular versions of characters, and so I would just stockpile as many as I could, just because I was so scared I wouldn't have just like a normal version of a main character. But yeah, 4 out of 5 for this exclusive version. Maybe if this was LBSC Thomas, I would have liked it a lot more, because LBSC Thomas is like really cool. So yeah. Next up is Annie and Clarabel. You're probably wondering why I went to these two next, and I figured since they're rolling stock, it'd be nice to cover them next, as well as the fact that, you know, they're so closely associated with Thomas. They've been there since the beginning. So Annie and Clarabel, I believe, are straight reuses of their push-along versions, minus the new wheels. This one here is Annie, this one here is Clarabel. I like that they have different faces. I don't like how high up the faces are. I think they should be a little lower. And I think the proportions could be a little better, but I think they, like, do their job well. Here they are next to Thomas. A little shorter than Thomas, but it's fine. I wonder if these guys will get updated to have different proportions at some point, or if they'll be kept the same, because they aren't, like, necessarily, like, out of scale or anything. They have people inside them. I think that's a child or a monkey. I'm not really sure. They, I believe, have different prints. Clarabel, of course, just reuses the same mold as Annie, even though she's supposed to be a guard's compartment, so you'd want different. You know what? This makes me want to compare them to the Trackmaster versions. Hold on. I believe I can get Trackmaster Annie and Clarabel out of here. Hold on. Can I? I can. Yes. Yes. All right. Okay. Here we are. Here they are next to the Trackmaster versions, or Playrail versions. This one's Trackmaster, this one's Playrail. I have my Trackmaster Clarabel. I just got this one because I thought it'd be like a good mod. I don't know. So there they are. Very small. Here they are. Next to Thomas for scaling. I don't get why they don't make them narrow gauge engines in the push along line. That would be so perfect because they're literally narrow gauge scale, right? They're so perfect for it. So yeah, that's Annie and Clarabel. Looking pretty good. Lovely job. Next one on the agenda is Percy the Small Engine. He looks a little squished. Horizontally, that is. He looks mostly fine. He's got a nice face. I like his expression here. He looks kind of cheeky. Which, you know, Percy is supposed to be cheeky. That's not something we talk about enough. He's missing a cylinder box, but he does have the 2 piston rods here. He has this weird things on the side. I believe that's his sandbox, and that's his... I don't know what that is, actually. I'm not really much of a train expert. There's his rivets, something I didn't really point out on Thomas, but yeah, they have rivets now. I actually saw in the store some of the other Trackmaster Revolution engines. Not Revolution, it's the Trackmaster 3, I guess is what you'd call it. The new style. I saw Nia there, but I don't think I saw Duck, which is a bit of a shame, because Duck is easily probably the engine I'm most hyped about, because it's Duck, you know? We don't see Duck very often. He has a bit of gold in his cab. There's his boiler. Percy does not have screws on the base, unlike Thomas and some of the others made in Thailand, as you can see. Not much to really say about Percy that I haven't said about Thomas. Just really well done. I don't like him as much as Thomas, though. I think Thomas was definitely like one of the better engines, and I'm kind of curious to see what the tender engines look like, since they're typically said to be the weaker part of this line. So let's dive into that with the next one.